Who is JackVellis? JackVellis is an amazing, strong, and caring individual. He is now a volunteer at the Midway and currently has about a little more than 1,000 hours of volunteering.
I've been in the Navy all my life. I was born into a Navy career family. My father was in the Navy, and so I was schooled at the Naval Academy as a midshipman. I was then commissioned, and I spent 27 years as a naval officer. When I retired from the Navy, I wanted to continue being associated with the Navy. My wife then said, "Well, what are you going to do with the rest of your life?" And I said, "Well, I really don't know." And she said, "You know, there's this beautiful ship down here on the Embarcadero, the Midway, and all you know about life is the Navy. Why don't you go down and ask to be a docent on the Midway?"
My name is Daisy Mojica. I am caring, empathetic, and kind to others. I think what was most inspiring about JackVellis was that through all the challenges he has faced one way or another, he's gotten through it.
When I was 18 years old, there was the draft, and every person reaching the age of 18, every male in those days, had to sign up with the draft board. Possibility you could be drafted into the Navy or Army, but there's nothing like that today. It's an all-volunteer workforce. You can go anywhere you want. What I would want civilians to know about serving in the military is that it evokes a tremendous amount of camaraderie, companionship, teamwork, and loyalty. And these are all traits that I think can carry you throughout life.
I'm personally interested in the women's rights movement because I've done a lot of research, and comparing women's rights from 50 years ago to now has shown me that women still struggle nowadays with many things like discrimination and sexist comments. I believe that as a female, I should care and value the rights of the woman. I have learned that civic engagement is important because it means working to make a difference in the civic life of our community. And when I'm older, I want to be able to say that in some way, I made my community a better place for the future generations. My main interest is women's rights because I've learned a lot about how women struggled in their daily lives and to be treated with respect and equality. Last year, there was a march for the #MeToo movement, which was organized to protest sexual harassment. Since then, I followed up on the movement, and I plan to share everything I know with the world on social media and post as many upcoming events as possible so that my community will realize the seriousness of women's rights and contribute to it as well.
What I learned working as a docent was that the Midway was not a museum. It was really not a ship. It was something more than that. It was a group of people who came together and enjoyed being there. And what I realized that when I come down to the Midway 1, 2, 3 times a week, I am joining my family. And the Midway to me is a family, and I thanked everyone there for accepting me as a member of the family.
I wanted to end off by saying that I am truly happy that this year I was able to work with my volunteer, JackVellis, and appreciate that he had the time to meet up with me so that I could get to know him better and learn how it was that he is now in the position he is in, being an incredible and admirable docent on the USS Midway.